for some action, just a fraction of friction. I got the clearance to run the interference into your satellite, shining a backlight. Sing it the gap, and I know that'll catch you right. Here's an example, just a little sample. I work at this killer, man. One time tried to come in my home, take my chrome. I said, yo, it's on. Take cover, son, or your ass out. How do you like my chrome? Then I want the rookie pass out. Didn't have to blast out, but I did anyway. Young punk had to pay. So I just killed a man. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. It's gonna be a long time before I finish one of the many missions that I had to establish to light my split, ignite your within sights. And if you ain't down, bullshit. Say some punk tried to get you for your idol. Would you go to one time and play the role model? No, I think you play like a thug. Next year the shot of a magnum slug. A man coming at ya. Yeah, you know I'm gonna get ya. How do you know where I'm at when you haven't been where I've been? Understand where I'm coming from when you're up on the hill in your big home. I'm out here risking my dome just for a bucket or a fast bucket just to stay alive. Yo, I gotta say fuck it. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. Here is something you can't understand. I work at this killer, man. Here is something you can't understand. All I wanted was a Pepsi.
RITER Radio is a BKR Media production.
Welcome to the morning meeting, everybody. Or should I say the whenever you decide to show up meeting?
I said the hip, hop, the hippie, the hippie, the hip, hip, hop, the don't stop, the rocket to the bang, bang, boogie, say up, up, the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what the hell is to the dish, to the ripping, to the beat. I'm here, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. Say I am Wonder Man, and I'd like to say hello. To the black, to the white, the red, and the blue, the purple, and yellow. But first I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie, say up, jump, the boogie to the bang, bang, bang.
I forgot a lot of things about how to do this. I got good at it. This is episode 296. I was in a groove rolling up to 295, and it's been, I don't know, a month or something since I did one of these. So the gap between 295 and 296 is extremely long, and then my ability to do this has, it's gone way down. But it's got to be done. We're not just, I left a bunch of you hanging. There's probably nobody watching or listening to this live right now, and that's okay. The whole point of doing it on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, 10 to noon, was that people would get into a rhythm and know that the show was happening at this time. And the fact that I've been just not doing it is that marks a serious, it's a serious decline in your ability to watch or listen. So this will exist after the fact on YouTube, on Spotify. But first of all, I need to get to 300. Like, sitting at 295 is stupid. I can't just live there. But also I want to do this. This will not be a daily show anymore. In large part because I'm doing a daily show on the radio. And if I'm doing it on the radio, then I'm not going to do it here too. So like even right now, what you're going to get is very different from what you're going to get on the radio, which will happen today. Today being May 18th, 2026. Shout out to Fargan Bastage, who said, I'm here. Thanks, man. I appreciate your existence and also your presence. There will be a show 2.5, 3.5 hours from now, I would say. Hi, Patty Cakes. It's happening. Cool. All right. I guess the notifications work. Surprise, everyone who got a notification and decided to click on the thing. Surprise, I'm here. I know I've been missing. I'm sorry. I have not had the capacity to do 2 shows a day. And now that I'm doing a show every day on the radio, I don't get to do this show every day. All right. I mean, I could, but I don't have 4 hours of me in me to talk to you. I'm sorry. So I'm doing a 2-hour show with Tim Graham on WGR, 1 to 3 p.m. I don't know that is going to be a permanent time slot. I do know that is going to be a permanent show, though. So sometime between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., Tim Graham and I think, are going to be talking to you every day, weekdays. And that does not allow for me to, I mean, technically, sure, I could figure out a way to do this, too. I'm not going to do this live every day. As you can tell from the last month where I didn't do it live at all. That said, there's stuff I do on here that I can't do on there that I want to do. I miss talking to Scott Wilson twice a week. I miss talking to Bob Gaughan once a week. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but you might call this or think of this as a podcast. I thought of it as a show, like a live show. The live part is more than likely going away. I mean, on occasion, sure, I can turn on a microphone and a camera. I forgot how hard this was to do, all these things that I have to do to make the show work. I intended to start it at about 10 after 10. It took 20 more minutes to get all the camera working, the lights working, the music working, and not playing songs doubled. If you tuned in right away when I went live, you were hearing music playing, but it was playing twice. Like one was 5 seconds behind. It took me 10 minutes to figure out what the hell was going on with that. So there's just stuff that I had to figure out. But I'll be okay. The intention here is keep doing the show at the radio station at WGR with Tim. And that's going to be 2 hours a day, and that's going to be forever. But I bought all the equipment. I've got this all figured out, and I'm kind of retraining myself to make sure that I know how to do it with the lights, with the music, I started the show. Oh, you want to see this? Should I do this? Yeah, I'm going to put on music and let you think for a second. Here, you guys think. Think about how crazy this is going to be. So you see behind me is the Odd, which is the fake site of tonight's hockey game. The Sabres are playing Game 7 against Montreal tonight, which is going to be awesome. And I'll talk all about it on the radio. But that'll be with Tim as opposed to with Scott, with Bob, John Fuller. We have regulars. We have RITER Radio regulars. They're here all the time. I go to the radio. Where's Scott Wilson? Just hanging out in Syracuse. That's stupid. We need Scott Wilson. A lot. So I'm going to have him on in a couple minutes. Honestly, the main point of this is that I want to talk to Scott Wilson, for example. And I've gotten used to having like a almost an hour-long conversation twice a week with Scott. And when we're not in football season, that's like the most I talk to him. In football season, we work UB games together. I go on trips. I played the music, and I didn't do the thing. I'll put the music on in a minute again and do the thing again. It's all right. I'm allowed to do... I've got mail? What? I'm allowed to do whatever I want here, and that's not the case with the radio. So, this is my excuse to talk to Scott Wilson. If I just called Scott and tried to monopolize his time while he's at work for 2 hours a week, he'd be like, dude, I'm working. Leave me alone. But if I do it into a microphone on YouTube, on Spotify, I'm allowed. So this is my excuse to chat with Scott Wilson, which I'll do 3 minutes from now. I got to work it out with Bob, too. What I think is going to happen is that RITER Radio is going to be a podcast. It won't be live. You won't be able to interact in the same way that you do with the live chat and stuff. And I know we had a small but loyal group of people doing that. That part is more than likely dead. But I do want to have these guys on and put together a thing. So I'm thinking RITER Radio continues. It's in podcast form, which is a pre-recorded version of this. It'll be the same, minus the interaction. And if you missed that, I'm sorry. But if you want to interact, you can call the radio show, which is happening lately, 1 to 3 p.m. on WGR with Tim Graham as my co-host. And that's awesome. I love it. But I miss this, and I miss Scott, and I miss Bob, and I miss the interaction. So today it's a little live, and I'm not doing 2 hours. This is going to be me for a few more minutes by myself, and then Scott for a bit, and then it's done. But at least I get to put a check mark next to 296. We can't stop before 300 for sure. And then once I get it all figured out, this is going to be a weekly or twice a week podcast. I was going to say bi-weekly, but that's every other week. It's not that. So once or twice. I've got sponsors. Thank you to Store 716, which, by the way, all of your fan gear, you should be going there. I don't have a Store 716 shirt on today, but I often wear their stuff, especially during the Sabres thing. I've got 4 new Sabres playoff shirts from Store 716. One with Lindy Ruff on it, one with UPL on it, one with Tuck. I've got an Alex Tuck Yeah shirt. And what is the fourth one that I'm not thinking of? There's another one. There's 4. But anyway, thank you to Store 716 for being a sponsor of the podcast that barely exists. So that's got to happen. Podcast also brought to you by the financial guys. It's brought to you by Buffalo Trim. And there's another one I don't have in front of me, but I will have lined up to talk about the next time that we do one of these, which I imagine will either be sometime this week or it'll be next week. But there will not be a week without one of these shows. That won't happen. We're gonna cruise. Did we win Saturday morning? Asks Iron Kingdom. No, we did not. I have been tracking baseball. Baseball has started. Baseball is at full speed. We're doing the win-loss hot dogs situation again. And hot dogs are at 0. I haven't done the calculation on the wins and losses after the weekend. It's not great. It's like a 500 record. There's a tie in there. It's about 5-5-1, something in there with 0 hot dogs. We're just getting started. The baseball season's just getting started. We'll get that all straightened out. But no, we did not, Iron Kingdom 88, win our house baseball game on Saturday morning. We got beat. We were down 12-0, and I think we scored 5 in the 6th and lost 12-5. So that team's 0-1. We've got another team that's 1-0. We've got a travel team that's probably, what are they? Maybe 4-2, and then another travel team that's 1-2-1. No, 0-2-1. So we're about 500 overall on the season, and I have not had a single hot dog at a baseball game, which is pathetic. Pathetic. It's all right, though. All right, I'm going to call Scott. Oh, I was going to show you the other thing. So I sat down. I said I've forgotten a lot of things about doing this show. And the one is, so you see the odd behind me, which is, the old version of the arena. We've got the arena tonight. That's the KeyBank Center, KeyBank Arena, whatever that place is called. That will be the site of Game 7, which I think I'll probably talk a lot about that on the radio today. But on this show, we'll just see what Scott has in mind. But sitting down in front of it, the reason I can have the odd back there is that what's actually behind me is just a green screen. There's just you've seen this before. You're aware of it, like the weatherman on TV. Your Don Pauls, your Patrick Hammers. Stand in front of a green screen and talk about the sun and the rain and the snow and all that crap. The one thing that you'll never see Don Paul or Patrick Hammer do is show up in like a green suit, because then they just disappear. I'm going to do a magic trick here. I'm going to show you what happens when it's just me in a green T-shirt, which I'd unzip this and show you, but it'll ruin the effect. All right, so I'm going to do this thing real quick. Now I'm going to play the music. Here, this. All right, I'm going to walk away for a second. I'm going to come back, and you'll see the effect of me wearing a green shirt, and then we'll talk to Scott. Watch this. Now I'm just ahead. Isn't that fun? Same person. I know it seems like I did a whole trick. All I did was take off a black sweatshirt, but I'm wearing a green T-shirt, and that vanishes into the screen, becomes part of the odd. I guess it shows up as, well, no. Is that white or is that ice? I don't know. Yeah, just look at this. I kind of like it. I kind of think maybe the move is to just wear green T-shirts on the show. Like if I took the hat, well, that wouldn't matter. So it's kind of fun, right? Just a floating head of me. I gotta call Scott. All right, here we go. We'll just call him live. Let's do it live. Watch this. Watch this, he says. Calling Scott Wilson. Turn this up. That should still work. Yep. There we go. Floating head and Scott.
Hey.
You're live on RITER RADIO, episode 296. You believe that, man? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. How about that? What's happening,
Yeah.
dude? How are you?
F it. We'll do it live.
Yeah, exactly. I miss you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I like doing the show on the radio a lot. I like hanging out with Tim and all that, but
I like listening to the show on the radio.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that I can't do on there that I want to do on here, which is like, honestly, if I just called you at work and tried to talk to you for an hour twice a week, you'd be like, dude, stop it. What are you doing? But if I do it on a show, then we're cool, and I don't get to hear all the things you're thinking about when it's not football season. So I need to do this show again. So I don't know what it's going to turn into, but thank you for joining me for the rebirth and the 296th episode of RITER Radio. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's no problem. No problem. Listen, it's not like I'd like to say that this, you're wondering what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Here's something that just popped into my head. I think the cosmic sports universe has blessed you on this return
A little bit.
because if you remember when you were going to LVL, it was setting up that your first show was supposed to be the Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because they beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
And they lost in heartbreaking fashion again to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't. And then this time you come back and the Sabres for the first time basically since you left,
Yeah. Yeah.
have become not just good but fun, and they play every other day. And the NFL draft was in there too. So yeah, I think that it's a much, I don't know, things worked out much better for you this time. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
happy about it.
yeah, they pretend like I'm doing well. The reality is, the station, you could have anybody on the air doing exactly what I'm doing, and it'd be great because of what the teams are doing. And I mean, today I'm going in to talk about Game 7. I mean, are you kidding? After scoring 8 goals to force Game 7 on the road in Montreal, and that's what I get to do. And yeah, it's been pretty fortunate. The timing of everything has been pretty fortunate for me, and it's been a lot of fun. And it's weird. It's crazy how like it simultaneously feels like I've been there, or it's been so long since I've been there, but also like I never left, and it's just the same stuff going on. It's the same. I sit in the same chair in the same studio talking into the same microphone with a couple of different people, but mostly the same people in the building. And the Sabres are fun like they were back then, and the Bills are way better than they were back then. So yeah, it was a good time to rejoin the station, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was awesome. And like I said, it's been fun. It's been fun having you back on there. It's been fun being able to plug over for a couple hours. It makes my day go by much faster. I know that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, it's been cool. And this whole run by the Sabres is a lot of fun. It's the first time I've really been. I live in a house with my wife grew up a Rangers fan. And I like the Rangers. I remember when they made their cup run in '94. That was really the first time I got fully invested in it because, that was growing up in Syracuse. We got MSG.
Yeah.
So
that's how you learn to like teams, man. That's why I like the Mets. It's why people like the Braves. It's why people like the Yankees. I mean, they're on.
Right, and then my favorite Sabres player is also their GM. So it's like, when they've been making their runs here in the playoffs over the last 5 years, I've kind of been like, all right, yeah, we'll watch that. That's fun. But this is the first emotional involvement I've had in well over a decade in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it is, I know my kids are like, it feels different for them.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
different than nothing. Yeah.
I also live in a house and it's everybody else in my house, big Knicks fans. So this is like a parallel simultaneous run going on right now that has been a bit of a conflict because there's been several nights where they've played at the same time. And ordinarily I would be like, yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll watch the Knicks, I'm a Sixers fan. Usually they're done by now. And believe me, I had to watch my son dance around the house with a broom a week ago.
That's dirty. In
front of me saying, yeah, how's shout out Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
He swept around my feet.
Yuck.
So I had another TV in the living room, and it was a smaller TV, and that was for the Knicks. I was like, if you guys want to see the Knicks, you can watch it on mute on this smaller TV.
Yep.
I'm wearing my Chris Drury throwback jersey, and I'm watching the Sabres with sound, full bore. There's a sign. We have a dry erase board in my kitchen, and I have counted down the wins to the Stanley Cup.
Wow. Look at you.
I'm all in.
That is awesome.
Game 7 tonight is I'm excited for it. And I haven't been, you obviously being there is a little bit different. I wonder if there's been any consideration to doing something like a lot of college football teams do, which is my home base of reference for stuff like this, which is for home games. Most of the time, even home college football teams will go to a hotel the night before the game. And what it does is it kind of regulates the experience for the team on at home and on the road. And it gets them all into one place. And, there's not as much of an adjustment when you go on the road and stuff like that. And I know that there's a big difference between, hey, I'm going to take the 85, 18 to 21-year-olds that are living on a college campus on a Friday night. I'm going to regulate it all, and I'm just going to wipe that slate clean, and I'm going to put them in a hotel, and we're not going to have to worry about my quarterback and my lineman going to Good Bar and getting in a fight.
Right.
Like, I get that.
Right.
I understand that, and I know that it's different to the NHL and professional players.
Right, with like
but
wives
I wonder,
and kids.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any consideration to trying it.
There is.
Because there's a clear difference, home and road. And I also think that there's a clear difference in the smoothness and the speed with which they play when Lindy has given them the full day off. And I don't know if that's just physically. I think it might also be mentally for a young team where a majority of the players have not been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to fully unplug and just chill and then come back and then replug in. I think that has made a big difference as well. So it's hard to argue with Lindy Ruff's moves. I'll say that.
Yeah.
You can say that the goaltending situation, but it's like, what do you do when both options are letting the puck go right through the center of their chest?
Right. Switch to the other one. Switch to the other one. He's
right.
done it all correctly. Absolutely.
Right. We're trying to find out what makes it stick. Helenus coming in, even Oslin coming in when that move was made. And then they missed him for a couple of games, and then Helenus has basically picked up right where Oslin left off. Like he's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it fun to think about.
Maybe better and more
like
exciting.
The two of them together.
Good God.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I would love
next
to
year.
have my fourth line center be one of those too. And I mean, the bringing a kid in from nowhere to play defense in a must-win road game in Montreal for his first playoff experience.
I'm winning by 5.
And he just was great.
Yeah.
He looked fine.
Yeah.
He was fine. Taking out a multiple-time Stanley Cup winning defenseman and putting in a kid that's never played.
Yeah.
That's a ballsy move, but it's worked. It was the right move. He's quicker. This is it. The whole thing has been super, super fun. Something that, I've also thought about was when we were doing radio the last time they were in the playoffs against Boston, and everybody thinks the series is going 7, but when it's going on, it's hard to remember that you have to lose 3 games in order to get to the 7th game.
I know. It's crazy. So
there can't be any panic when you're losing those 3 games because in your head you're thinking we're going 7 anyway.
Yep.
And it's tough to always remember when you're in it that means you lose 3 games. So they're right where pretty much everybody thought they were. This
is what Montreal did last series too, and they were super tight with Tampa. And people were asking me who I preferred as an opponent, and I had no preference because either way it was going to be this. What's interesting is to be in a series that is so tight in a bunch of games that are never tight. Like they've had one close game in this thing, and it's like we're going to destroy you, you're going to destroy us, and it's back and forth with that. And here we are. I think it's funny. You said the thing about the hotel. Lindy in his post-game press conference like made a joke. I'm petitioning to try to have the game held here. Like I want to stay. Let's do Bell Center again. Bell Center has been going great. Arena, KeyBank Center, not going so well. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect tonight, but I'm fine with it.
If this series was against Toronto and not Montreal, I'd keep the reservations at the hotel in Toronto and bus to the game.
Yeah.
Like I would think about it.
Right.
I think about it. Like something's going on.
Right.
All right. The hell with it. But with young teams, I think a lot of times they feel a little bit more, there's less pressure on the road. They can play a little bit freer. And I know for me, I I never played anything past high school, but for me, I loved road games because I loved making a play and seeing people be miserable.
Yes.
Like it brought joy to my heart. I liked being taunted. I liked that other people. I liked being unliked.
Yeah, you want to be
in that
hated. You want to be
arena.
an underdog. You want to be all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
expectations are
I get it.
nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's Game 7. I really would rather it's here
Yes.
than
Oh,
there.
yeah, sure.
Ultimately, but the track record so far in the playoffs is they're a freer, looser, faster, smoother team when they're not in Buffalo. So I blame the Blade Gang. I think it's probably their fault that things haven't gone super well at home. I'm just kidding. It's not their fault. But I'd prefer to be here, but I would also relish the opportunity to go do it in Montreal. And I'm with you on road games. Like my favorite thing maybe that I've ever seen in sports was the Sabres eliminating the Flyers in Philadelphia and hearing that the volume in their arena go from 1 million to 0 in a split second after Grosek put the puck in the net. It's the loudest place you've ever been, and then it is silent to the point where I could hear the guys on the ice, and I'm up in the press box. I could hear them yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering and cheering and whatever, and that was amazing. So I like the road part of it, but when all is said and done, give me a preference where to play this game. I would still pick Buffalo for Game 7 because I think everything's out the window. Like it's all cliche, everything that I would say right now. But yeah, let's just have it here. Let's let the people enjoy it. Sabres have only done this one time, I believe, won a Game 7 at home, and that was the Derek Plant game, 97. I was there for that. It was incredible. I'm hoping we get some more of that tonight. It's so crazy to think about the fact that this season could either last another month or end at 9:30 tonight.
They've also remember the stat from earlier in the this series. They've never won a 7-game series where they've fallen down 2-1.
Yeah,
they are 0-14.
Yeah, that's a stupid stat.
It doesn't. Well, right. It doesn't mean much, but still, they're out here trying to do it, and I don't know. Every other time something comes up, they've seemed to pull something out of their hat.
Yep.
Now, Montreal hasn't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs. That concerns me. They're a very good bounce-back team, and they like playing on the road as well. So,
sure.
I still think 5-on-5, I think the Sabres have actually been a majority, probably 60-40 better in this series. If they can get and figure out some type of, say, average goaltending, like kind of average goaltending,
like what they've faced. I feel like what they faced has been average goaltending, and it's just, are the Sabres great tonight or terrible tonight in the net?
Right. Yeah. So I also think it's worth every time one of these Spittin' Chicklets guys goes public saying that the Sabres are done, they immediately win. It happened obviously earlier, the 0.0% chance.
Right, but Bissonnette going into Game 6 was insane.
They went up 3-1. They tweeted, "Series is over. This is done. Sorry, Buffalo." And they scored 7 straight goals. So, I'm all for.
And more than likely, while not looking at Twitter.
Say,
yeah, they probably didn't even see it.
I just, whatever they're saying, I hope it's against the Sabres tonight, because that's kind of clearly the way that things have been going well for Buffalo. Also, do you have a preference on the drum banger? Because statistics bear out that non-hockey people are undefeated.
I believe my wife is the first person to point that out. She's been tracking it. She doesn't want athletes. The only confusion would be if what you would count the Blade Gang as. I decided to count them as athletes, and that makes them 0-4.
Definitely athletes.
0-4 with athletes, and then 2-0 without. Bill Fichtner wins, and Jenneret's wife wins, and then the other 4 lose. So I'm leaning toward a Goo Goo Doll. I don't know where to go.
Okay. Yeah. I could get with that. They obviously have to be Buffalo oriented. I just I don't know who else you bring in.
Well, Tim and I have talked about Kevin Adams, but that wouldn't be any good because he's an athlete, and also for all the other reasons. But he would count as an athlete, so that's no good. So yeah, I'm staying out of the athlete realm, and I'm not positive. Like
Kekalainen?
Yarmo would be good. I don't know if that's part of his personality that he wants to bang a drum, so I don't think that's right.
All right, how about Golisano, former owner?
Not terrible.
Last time we were here,
right? Annie Regis, Lindy going
Monica
into the
Seles.
athlete. Lindy's
athlete.
Lindy's an
Sorry.
athlete. Do we agree non-athlete? Because if we're gonna brainstorm here, we should. I
Is
should
Don
stop
Cherry
saying
still
things.
alive?
No.
Okay.
Crap. I don't know. I would count him as an athlete. Is Don Cherry
Don
alive?
Cherry's dog?
Is Don Cherry alive? I hate not knowing the answer to that. He's probably 100 or dead. He's alive. He's 92.
Bring him in. Wheel him in.
Yeah, not terrible. I don't know.
Is there how about has Patrick Waugh made up with Montreal?
No.
I'm interested.
Athlete. But yes. Has Patrick Waugh made
Like,
up with...
I want somebody, if it has to be an athlete, maybe you just go a different way and remove it from the Sabres aspect and say, listen, is there somebody else that hates Montreal with us? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
Type of
Even like
situation.
a political, like a Canadian politician who's anti-French, anti-Quebecois.
Yes.
Like that.
Is
that
there
would be
somebody
good.
that wants to have them secede from Canada?
Who is their Stalin? You know, like somebody.
All right, here's something.
Yeah.
Trump.
Nah.
He would show up for it. There's no doubt about that.
And it would be on TV.
That is something he would do. You could get him to do that for sure.
Yeah. And it would like he'd have a Sabres jersey on with 51. And it would just his name would be State or something. Yeah. That's not
right.
I'd be down with that. Whatever it takes, man. I have no allegiance to anything but the Sabres here, and anything that makes the entire province uncomfortable would be fine by me. Trump's a good idea. What's he doing? What's he up
Nothing
to?
important. I know that.
I haven't seen him in the news in a while.
I haven't. Yeah.
It's cool
know,
doing the sports, like exclusive sports show. Like when I'm doing this, I'm doing RITER Radio. Every day there's a debate in my head. Like, do I talk about this Trump thing? And now it's just like, no, don't. And then I don't have to read it. I don't have to listen to it. I don't have to watch it. I don't have to care about it. Life is better. It's a happy place, man. A sports station is a happy place to work.
Yeah.
Currently, anyway, you know, with the Sabres doing what they're doing and the Bills being what they are and politics not being involved, that's a happy place. That's not what the place is for. So I get to just skip all of it, and that's awesome.
Yeah. No, that's nice.
So probably not him.
What about Trudeau? You could maybe Justin Trudeau. He's already kind of defected to Katy Perry. Can we get him? He's already going with a California girl. Can we get him fully on our side and say, wow, look at Justin Trudeau has left Canada. He has betrayed Canada.
Well,
he's hitting the Sabres drum for.
I think that Canada has left Montreal for Buffalo just because we sang the national anthem when the mic cut out. Like all of a sudden, Canada couldn't believe that
that we knew
knew the words to a song we've heard 82 times a year since 1970. They couldn't believe it, or 41 times a year, whatever you want to call it. It was a moment that was cool.
That was a cool moment.
I get like, you know, even when it was happening, I was like, oh, this is cool. But it wasn't shocking in any way. It's like, of course that's what's going to happen. And then people were shocked by it. And then Montreal suddenly is the only Canadian team left in the playoffs. And people are like, yeah, I like Buffalo better. and it's awesome. I love that Canada, it's their sport, and we're their team now. Everywhere but Quebec, I would think. But yeah, that I don't know. I don't know that we need to remind the Canadians that their nation is on our side.
I anytime that this has come up, that I've talked with people where they're like, oh, Montreal it's the only Canadian team left, blah, blah, blah. And I always say, if you've ever spent any time in Buffalo, they are Canadian. Buffalo is Canadian.
Right. Very Canadian.
Like it's as close as you're ever going to get outside of Canada. There is no other. Detroit is not like that. Going to school there and you get the radio stations. Like you're able to watch curling on CBC.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, I know what the Tournament of Hearts is because of Buffalo. Right. If Montreal does lose, hopefully, and the Sabres advance, I still feel like for Canada,
they're alive.
They are still. If Buffalo were to win the cup, I still think that that's a win for Canada. Like it is. I don't know. There's very close relationship there, and I can see another country from my house.
Right.
I think that they're right there. They're right there, and even though Montreal hopefully loses, that I feel like they should and will jump on board the Sabres. For this run, if that's the way it unfolds, which would be cool,
Yeah.
If you look at, and I know that this has been talked about a little bit, but for the last 14 years, if you look at, other than the two cities that are involved in these playoffs, the highest rated city watching hockey playoffs is Buffalo. And it's like, we're just like you, man. We're in it here too. We're in it here too. So
well, that's why the Canada as a 51st state doesn't make sense to me, but Buffalo as a Canadian city does. Like we are closer to them than the it's crazy. I don't know what I was about to say. The idea, like you mentioned listening to the radio stations, and like the Tragically Hip, if they play Syracuse, they play it like I don't even know.
Landmark Theater.
Sure, they would
about 800.
Right. Yes, I saw them there. Right. I saw them there on my birthday. I've got a picture of it. Is it right next to me? No. But I've got a picture of the marquee that was my birthday, the Tragically Hip, Landmark Theater, November 7th. I had that. They play here. It's the arena. It's sold out. You better get tickets the second they go on sale or you're not getting one. Because we're Canada. Yeah, we're not 100%. I like where we live. I like the versatility we've got. You talk about the radio stations. Every Canadian artist talks about watching the news from, watching Irv Weinstein on the news. Like Toronto feels Buffalo. We're the little stepbrother. That's okay to them. But Canada is like a stepbrother to the U.S., and we're right in all of it. Like, I love the relationship. It feels great. It's a pretty standard thing to have a beach house or you vacation on a lake in Canada because you live here. It's the same thing.
Buffalo's closer to Brampton than Boston.
Yeah.
Not just geographically. I mean,
right.
There's a lot of similar values. There's a lot of there's a lot of similar stuff there. There's a lot more similar stuff there than a lot of different places. And I think that you see that I think it's talked about more with Bills games. You see that people have the same reaction when they come from other cities to Buffalo to watch a Bills game as opposing fans and leaving. The description that they have is the same one that someone describes when they go to Prince Edward Island for vacation, which is, everyone was so nice. Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
Are you having a good
time? Really nice and impressed us. And we had a good time, and no one gave us a hard time, and was very friendly. It's like it's the same thing. You go to Calgary, that's the same thing, and that's Take a short drive to Philadelphia. You do not have the same experience.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's totally right. All right. Do we have anything else? I haven't talked to you in a month on here. I mean, I talk to you most days. There's some stupid text we send to each other, but is there anything that you feel has been left behind? I mean, I can't imagine we'd do a 10-hour show if we were just trying to make up everything that happened in the last month or so. But anything else hitting you right now that is not Sabres related?
Well, the only other thing is we never talked about the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that the Bills did, a little head scratching, but I understand it. Biggest thing for me was you and I saw him twice. We really like Skylar Bell from UConn. Loved the pick.
Mm-hmm.
As the pick was approaching, probably about 10 picks out.
I have given you credit for this on the radio. Go ahead, say it, but I have talked about this.
I texted you, and I'm like, bro, Skylar Bell is still there, and they need to pull the trigger on this.
Yeah.
And he's a stud, man. He's so fun. He destroyed Buffalo in one of their best seasons in the last decade, 2 years ago in UConn, where we left that game saying, what was that?
Yep.
And why is he at UConn? And then last year in UB Stadium, the Bulls played a really good game against a team and a really good defensive game against an offense that had some of the top numbers in the country. And he is the reason that UConn won. He had a great grab for about 10 yards that he turned into a 45-yard touchdown. And then he had another big catch down the middle of the field in the second half that set up the game-winning field goal. So, you know, that's the type of guy that has flown under the radar. But if you're following along with us with UB football, you've seen him and you know he's doing this with just regular dudes at quarterback. Let's give him Josh Allen. And I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to have he played outside a lot at UConn. I don't think that's where he's going to be for the Bills. I think he's going to be working more inside. Like I'd love to see him line up inside and then run like a scissors where I can get a nickel on him running down the sideline when they're shaded inside. And it's like, bye, see ya. He's going to be going. So to have another option with that, if you want to go 4 wide and you've got him in the slot
and Shakir too.
Yeah. You're going to have to, like, one of them is going to get your slow safety or your linebacker. And that's bad news for you to have to deal with that type of interior speed and route running. So I'm a big fan of that. You know, I understand what they did with the corners. They need depth there, especially when they let Jamarcus Ingram go for free and then they lose Cam Lewis.
Right. And then they lose a playoff game because somebody gets hurt. You know, Hairston's out and immediately they're targeting whoever was Dane Jackson, whatever.
Dane Jackson.
Right. I mean, immediately it was, look out, touchdown. Like that's how they lost. So you can't fault them for thinking about that going into the draft.
Yeah.
Bell is just, and you said we saw him twice. We saw him 3 times because he was at Wisconsin the year before.
Oh, that's right.
He didn't have a major. He's like, 1 catch for 14 yards or something like that. But when he was on the board, when you texted me, hey, keep an eye on Bell, I was like, oh, I know that name. Why do I know? Because every year we face him. It's 3 years in a row.
Right.
We faced him and talked about him every time because he's been an impact guy. So it's become the trend, I think. Like, that's the exciting pick from the draft to everyone. But they don't know like we know. And we know. Like, we know stuff. It doesn't always pay off. All these MAC, trips don't always pay off in NFL knowledge, but we got one on everybody here. We know Skylar Bell, and hell yes, you want him on your team.
Yeah, and also that big, like 6th or 7th round, that big defensive tackle from Minnesota went.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time believing that he's not going to be someone's starting nose tackle, like immediately. I'm not sure how he lasted that long. Some of those guys, like Devin Eastern off the edge,
Yeah.
and that big nose tackle, those are guys that we saw that I feel like, yeah, they were later round picks, but I don't know. These guys can play, man. So, yeah, it's fun to see some of those guys get picked, and I think it's fun that Red is Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh, it's great.
I think it's great.
The
He's
part that
gotten a lot of
stinks-
attention.
The part that stinks is if he had not been selected there, he'd probably be in Bill's camp, and he'd probably make the team, and he'd probably be a Buffalo Bill.
True.
But I still, for him, he doesn't need to be here. I like having our guys scattered around the league. I like anytime I can tune in and find a former Bull, and he's making a team. You know, he's going to be in the league.
Yeah, and it was cool to read the articles afterwards because you think Mr. Irrelevant, it's the last pick in the draft. Do teams take it seriously? And then hearing and seeing the reports that the Broncos had several offers for that last pick, trade offers.
I didn't see that. That's
and
great.
They said, no, we got a guy we like. We're going to take him. We're going to use the last pick in the draft on the person that's forced more fumbles in the history of college football than anyone else. And I don't know, Red seems like the type of guy that like he's going to fit that Denver system.
Of course.
They are going to figure out a way. Like he played middle linebacker, and especially his senior year, he had a lot put on his plate, kind of taking over that Dolak role. And he still shined, and he was still awesome, and he still forced all the fumbles, and he was still all over the field. But we didn't see as much of him as like when he can play the other guy, when you put some of that responsibility on Dolak and then let him be the vicious killer.
Yeah.
That's where he's at best. He's going to be in that situation where he's going to be able to go to Denver and hunt. And that to me is really fun. And I think he's going to fit real well. He was and is an excellent blitzer. He was an excellent blitzer. So I can absolutely see them putting him as a stand-up D end coming off of the edge. But he was from that linebacker spot. UB played a lot of nickel, especially not this past year. I mean, yes, this past year, but he had different responsibilities this past year. The 2 years before that, when it was Dolak dropping back deep into coverage and they brought him, we said it numerous times. If he blitzes, he gets home.
Two's getting there.
He might not get a sack. Two is going to get to the quarterback. He's going to force an errant pass. He's going to get there and force him out of the pocket. He's coming, and he's going to get to the quarterback. And now he's going to be back in that situation where he can play
free
and just be free and go after that and go get guys. And I think that they're going to love him out there. If you're a Bills fan, the only thing that stinks is that he's going to a good team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, I think it's cool. I think it's cool to spread, have a bunch of UB guys spread out. So that I like having 4:30 games that
there's something
I can
there.
say, oh, here's Red. Oh, Patterson and Mac. Here we go.
It's
All
our
right,
own version
fine.
of fantasy football, really. It's the same. I got a guy on this team. It makes the afternoon a little bit more fun, or the evening, or whatever. So awesome. All right, I got to run, man. I got to go to the radio station. So thank you very much for being a part of episode 296. Good to talk to you. There's Scott Wilson, and we'll wrap it up. I'll explain more. We'll do this again. It's not on the same regular schedule, but this has to happen. Thanks to Store 716. Thanks to the financial guys. Thanks to Buffalo Trim. And we'll be back soon. Also, go to RITERRadio.com. That's now functional. It's not beautiful. It's not perfect. But all of the archive stuff is there. I'm going to have a thing there where you can listen live to GR. I'm going to have a contact thing. But RITERRadio.com is the place to be for all of the aforementioned things and more as we move into the future. Thank you, and tune in to WGR. I work there now. It's WGR. I'm on 1 to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday with Tim Graham, and that's going to continue for quite some time. All right, thank you. I'm going to stop, and bye.